Today we're going to be talking about none other than Chanel quality, which is a topic that I've covered many a time on this channel to date. It's been a mixed bag, not gonna lie, and although I've bought from Chanel for 8 years and overall obviously there has to be some redeeming factors to the quality for me to willingly spend a significant amount of money on that establishment. Of course, recently in press and with the price increases surrounding Chanel as of late, I think a lot of people are scrutinising them for the quality issues or just lack thereof. This particular topic isn't just one that I'm covering in isolation just cause I wanted to film this for you guys, but it's actually a follow-on from last week's Chanel unboxing video, which is of this bad boy right here. If you haven't seen it, I mean, obviously go have a watch if you want the full unboxing experience, but if you can't be bothered, well, let me just open this bag up for you now, and there we have it. What we have is a Chanel medium classic flap in the chevron with rose gold hardware, and it's in this beautiful light green colour. I think that is the official name for it, light green, even though a lot of people colloquially call this the Tiffany green or Tiffany blue, depends on what your eyes see. Before I digress further, let me bring it back to the point of this video, which is quality for Chanel, because this video was actually inspired by the fact that now Chanel offers warranties on their bags, and I only found this out myself actually when we were just settling up for the bag and our SA told us. I do have receipts and I will be reading you all of the information that I got sent after signing up for the warranty process. It's something that I briefly touched upon in that video, the unboxing video last week. I got an email about the warranty itself, and let me just pull that up. It looked like this. And it says, you know, pleasure of welcoming you to the boutique, thanks for the visit. The Chanel Noir program offers an ensemble of services to help you preserve the exceptional quality of your handbag. And let me just put this down because it's getting a little bit heavy, not gonna lie. And this way we can have a little bit of decoration in the back over here, boom. Totally clashes with my outfit, but still very, very cute. Anyway, so this is the email that I got after putting in some details about me, you know, name, address, that kind of thing, putting in the serial code information for the particular bag. Then I got access to this email and a quick link as well, which I'll just show you guys. When I open it, you can see all the details of the bag and the length of the warranty, which is 5 years from the date of purchase. I think before it might have only been 1 year that Chanel's ever done warranties. It's very luxe when you go on the little web platform and you've got all the little details about your bag, and it gives you also some care instructions. And let me just now quickly talk you through what is included in said warranty, because it was a pleasant surprise that these bags come with warranties. I mean, side note, I did have an expectation that these kinds of bags of this kind of price range and caliber would probably have some sort of lifetime guarantee. To be honest, I've had issues with their accessories and things. I've just had it taken for granted that they would just fix it because it's broken, you know. So it says here, a 5-year warranty is offered from the date of purchase for every handbag or wallet on chain acquired from April 2021 onwards. This warranty applies to the replacement of any parts or any necessary repairs on Chanel handbags and wallets on chain, subject to proper use. That will be something that I'm sure they might get you for if you haven't been using your bag properly, whatever that means. But anyway, this can only be carried out with a proof of purchase from one of our boutiques. Your boutique remains at your disposal for any questions, blah, 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 blah. And then they have a link which has see total warranty terms and conditions, which I'm sure there's gotta be a catch. You know, like if you buy insurance for something and you try and claim for it, I've never had to, touch wood, but there's always like a get out of jail free card that they can use. Basically, the coverage includes metal parts, so in particular chains, clasps, eyelets, blah, 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 handles, bag straps, tabs, braided chain, seams, zippers, decorative ornaments, and there are some disclaimers as well. It does not cover the repair or restoration of elements due to normal wear and tear, such as leather wear, etc. Does not cover repair of damages due to use of products not specifically intended for Chanel. Doesn't cover repair of damages due to external events such as fires, floods, blah, blah, blah. So you can imagine it's got to essentially be a quality fault of Chanel's that they'd be willing to fix it. So just gonna put the phone away now, because I think that is essentially the gist of their Chanel Memoir program. I think what they're trying to do is follow suit in the likes of Hermes, because they have things like the Bag Spa, I believe. Now, obviously, the fact that Chanel is offering warranties on their bags now, where they didn't used to, at least in a formal capacity anyway, obviously that is something that, on the face of it, is a very nice gesture, isn't it? It's about time. A lot of us are probably thinking as well, given that I had no idea that they only offered one previously. But the skeptic in me also thinks, isn't it a bit strange that they're offering a 5-year warranty on their bags now, especially with all of the issue and scrutiny surrounding quality that they've had thus far? And obviously you can make the argument, like I mentioned earlier, they're trying to be more premium, they're trying to do something nice for the customers that are able to afford a bag of this nature. I think they're probably offering this warranty because they may not believe that the quality of their bags is going to hold for that long. Or maybe they've had many complaints. That's just an inkling that I have. So that's why I wanted to make today's video first and foremost, because I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the Chanel Memoir program. Obviously you've got to buy a bag to be able to be part of it. I think though they might actually accept, from when I was speaking to my SA at the time anyway, if you've bought a bag just a little bit before April 2021, they'll be fine with it. Just bring your receipt. It's great and everything. Obviously, I cannot complain, especially with the price tag that this bag now commands, or any Chanel bag for that matter. But they don't do anything out of the goodness of their hearts, because if they did, they would just up the quality of their items, which a lot of people complain about, rightfully so, because vintage bags, etc. Obviously, quality is night and day when you compare it. The craftsmanship, the materials used, etc. Right? So if they wanted to do something good for the customers, they would have kept the 24 karat gold plating, for example. They would have kept the same materials and craftsmanship that they've used back in the day, wouldn't they? Then I kind of went down a rabbit hole after I went through my handbag collections and even just my Chanel packaging, and I realised that they've been cutting corners from almost like day one since I've started buying from Chanel. Let me go into some of these examples that I have for you. So I have some bags, and obviously I'll be using this particular bag as well because I'll be doing some measuring. I've got my ruler here. It's crazy because it's my art ruler. So I don't know why I don't have any short rulers, because clearly I went to school for like a decade, right? And we had all these like protractors and things. Cannot find a single ruler. And this was actually inspired by a Sophie Shohet video that I recently watched, and I like this now to point, where she also kind of talked about Chanel quality and how actually when you do some simple measurements on your bags, you can tell if they're like faulty or not. And so I just wanted to show you some of that today. I haven't actually measured any of these bags, so we're going to do that live and see if any of my bags are actually faulty. But then I'm also going to show you some bits of packaging which seem negotiable details, but because of the Chanel experience being so expensive, I think it's not necessarily you're buying the handbag, you're buying the whole experience. And for that reason, I feel like if you're going to offer certain things as like nice touches, they better be good touches, otherwise just don't bother adding them. So let me do the handbags first. So what I have here, obviously notwithstanding the Chanel classic flap here, I've got my Business Affinity, which is a very, very popular bag, and I'm just going to put that over there. I get lots of compliments on her because she is just, first of all, so cute, but also really, really functional, and this is in the medium size. Then I have my very, very cute little Chanel Mini, and it's in this beautiful oil slick purpley pink colourway. And then I will put her there and show you the final bag that I have, just as a little bit of a comparison. So this is my Chanel, I don't know what the name is, just like a single square flap bag, and it's got beautiful acrylic details on the top there, but it's very, very simple. So the reason that I picked these bags is because they all have a front flap in a very similar kind of way to the classic flap. I guess everything is pretty inspired by the classic flap silhouette. And so actually, in terms of Chanel quality, what some people are noticing, one of the big grievances that a lot of people have is that whether it be bags that they're considering buying or bags that they have bought, they've noticed things that are off with the placement of their front flap. We are going to measure the distance of the flap on either side just to see if it's technically faulty and should not have actually been sold to me, which is a bit late now, and I do love all my bags. I've never personally noticed it, which I guess is saying something maybe about my eyesight, but these are just a few things that I wanted to share with you because Chanel may be doing their warranty, but they're selling bags that are actually faulty to start with. So I'm not sure what they'd be able to do about that, because I guess on your receipts as well, I've noticed with Chanel, they actually say client has inspected item, blah, 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 even though obviously that's not necessarily the case if you don't know what you're looking for. But let's start front to back. And so essentially a few things that you need to kind of look out for before you do the measuring anyway. There's a visual check that you want to do, obviously, of making sure that the flap is level and straight. Now this one, I don't know if you can tell, it's going to be a bit hard. It does look a little bit wonky. It looks like the flap is going diagonally upwards, like I'm obviously exaggerating the angle here, but it looks like that, and it looks like it's going up here. Now, a few other things that would be usually telltale, which is why this is a little bit difficult, is the lineup of the quilts. Obviously, it's a little bit different for chevron, but I'll show you that in a bit. But what you can usually tell is like the stitching should actually go straight flush down into the base of the bag as well, so it should follow through really nicely. So it shouldn't be like off center. You know, let me just do this, and I know some people might cringe at this because of the value of the bag, but for example, obviously you can see here, the line should follow through into the bottom, but it doesn't. So from the right side, if I do it from the flap, I'll try and do it as even as I can. So the distance is 5.8 centimeters there, and then this one is 5.6. Yeah, so it's off by 0.2 millimeters, which I guess is okay. It's not like a massive deal. Visibly though, for some reason, I feel like it's way more, but this one's not too bad. And I think maybe it's also to do with if I stuff it in with some things, then it's gonna, maybe it's looking like it's bulging because I actually do have some stuffing in it. Maybe that's why, but it's nothing major. And like I said, you can always do that visual check of the stitching, and actually the stitching does look good on this one. Not a big issue here. I feel like 0.2 is probably, or 0.3 millimeters is probably, you can kind of get away with it. It's nothing super visually unappealing about the bag. So let's talk about the Chanel Mini, which I have higher hopes for. Visibly, it looks very even. On the front there, you can tell the quilting also is very straight. They follow through also to the back as well. Even the back flap on the Mona Lisa Smile Pocket is pretty good as well. And yeah, everything is in order. I mean, the stitching of the sides is a little bit different, but it's very even in terms of when it actually meets the other type of stitching. It's like perfectly in the center, these lines, perfectly in the center of the other quilts. So it's looking good. Let's do a bit of measurement as well. So let's just take it from the right side first again. So this is about 4.7, and this is about 4.8. It wanted to be 4.7, but it's slightly off. So this is a good example of a bag that it's quite perfect, to be honest. And also, again, I do have it stuffed with a few things, so that might also be a reason why there's a slight variation, but 0.1 millimeters, I'm pretty impressed with that. Now we're gonna move on to a bag which I have less high hopes for, because I do think Business Affinities are notorious for having a wonky front flap. I do remember seeing other Business Affinities when I've gone to boutiques, even online as well. People have talked about it on videos where actually tons of Business Affinities, their flap is just like way off, like they shouldn't even be selling these bags, let alone then offering these 5-year warranties, you know? So let's just start on this right side again, and this distance to the bottom is about 4 4.1. Let's say 4.1, because this now, suddenly, we've got low. 4.1. Oh my god. We're at 3. I'm not even on 4. 3.2? Is that right? I just have to check. What? That's a full centimetre. What in Lord's name is this? It's a 1 centimetre difference. I've never noticed that. Now I'm gonna have to go through all of my old videos and see if you can tell it's wonky. It's one of those things you really have to, I guess, look up close and know what you're looking for and know about the whole measuring thing. And also the essay, I guess, has to be really honest with you around, you know, is this bag actually something that should be on sale? But I guess there's a buyer for everything, isn't there? While I would obviously say do not settle for bags like this, apparently there will always be people that do. And I'm one of them. Joking aside, I've never had an issue with this. I think this has probably happened maybe over time, but I'm not exactly sure how. This is exactly what I mean about me being skeptical on the Chanel Amour program, because if they really cared about the quality, they would not allow people to go home with bags like this, with this kind of discrepancy, let alone have it on their shop floors. Like, I think a lot of people are noticing that Chanel are kind of just letting any old bag that they've created with stitching issues, hardware issues, with issues like that, I think is quite minor. A lot of people have had issues with the chains, for example, which I feel like is a bit more, and, you know, stitching coming out, things like that, that, you know, they shouldn't even be putting that on the shop floor, and yet they are. So for that reason, I can only deduce then, given this quality issues that I've just showed you, that their 5-year warranty is because they have little faith in the quality of their Chanel products to date, and they don't really want to change the way that they make their products today, because obviously I'm just assuming they're making a lot of savings anyway, so that's why they're offering a new warranty. But anyway, let me measure the final bag, the most important bag of all, I want to say, because, well, at this point in time anyway, because of how bloody expensive this was. I've put it to the side of the CC clasp. That is about 5.1. And now I'll do it from this side of the CC clasp. 5.4. So this side is lower. Visibly, I don't see that. Visibly, I don't see that. And I also do think the stitching in terms of the chevron here is looking pretty good. It's meeting very nicely. Nothing is off center or anything like that. I think a 0.3 variance, 0.3 millimeter variance anyway, is okay. 1 centimeter though, however, that's not okay. Just to summarize, this is a very quick check that you can do. I mean, obviously I don't suggest that you bring a ruler in to the boutique when you go looking for a bag, but visibly anyway, you should be able to see if something's off, and that one you could tell. This one I guess you can't really, unless you really squint. You got really good eyesight, you want to test that. But anyways, that's just kind of what I wanted to show you with that. And then the final thing I wanted to show you is around packaging quality issues. Now I'm going to start with dust bags. They have all been quite variable. Now unfortunately I don't have obviously one of these other Chanel classic flap white bags to show you to be like all the quality of the dust bags is different. This obviously feels quite nice, very luxurious, definitely a lot different to these bags, which have a crunchy almost sound to it, whereas this one is just very luxurious. What can I say? But me and my grubby hands have got a mark on it, so great, good for me. But that aside, yeah, like I mentioned, these bags, they're fine. They're very similar to the shoe dust bags as well. But one dust bag, I think I actually got swindled, because I'm pretty sure this should not have been a bag dust bag, and things have started happening on this dust bag, which I store my bags so nicely. They're like my babies. I worship them. This one is actually for my Chanel Mini, and I bought this, like I mentioned before, countless times at the airport. This was actually a dust bag given to me by one of the sales associates who said, I've got a special dust bag for you. And first of all, can I just say, this is a ghetto-ass dust bag, because she's actually given me one which has like brown threads coming out the side. I don't know if you can see that. It's got like, I don't know who tied this, but it's like, ugh, it's just ew. I mean, these have at least ribbons and things like that. This is just, what is that? And then it's some random white marks have appeared, but also it looks and feels like utter garbage. And I think she mentioned, oh, it's because of your bag is like crumpled calf, you need something that's breathable, okay, yada yada yada. But I swear to God, if you have a Chanel Mini, can you tell me in the comments below if this is a normal bag to have? Because you can see the bag through the dust bag, and it's just, oh, I would not wipe my butt with this. Again, the rest are, I would say, a lot better quality, but I think I got swindled with that particular bag because that is not a special bag. That is an absolute joke. That's what it is. So these are absolutely fine. Obviously, they don't feel, like I said, as nice as the classic flat one, but it will do. And it's not this garbage, which honestly, like, there's even little things falling off of it, little grommet things. Bad quality. That's what I'll say for that one. But anyway, the final packaging piece that I wanted to show you, which definite quality issues, is the famous black carrier bag. This is only just a small selection of the black Chanel carry bags that I actually have. I keep them all, but actually from now on, I'm probably going to stop because all I need to show you is a comparison of an old dust bag versus a new one for me to make my point. So this is the carrier bag that is new. This is the carrier bag that is old. So they look pretty similar, don't they? But actually, I think you can actually tell from the viewfinder and everything. So I think you can actually tell the quality is quite different. This particular carrier bag, so there is no information about obviously where it's made and everything. This is very glossy. It's very thick quality and sturdy. The ropes are pretty good, very thick quality, and pretty much it holds its own, and it's very luxurious feeling as well. Now, this particular bag, this is one of the new bags this year that they've done. I'm not sure if they've done any kind of press about it or not. I know a lot of brands, other designer brands like Gucci, are doing recycled packaging and blah, blah. But this, to me, if you've ever been to Vista Village, this feels like a Vista Village bag. It feels like an outlet bag, and it feels cheap and rubbish quality. So first of all, you can tell it's not glossy at all. It's just a basic black bag now. Then it's just incredibly thin and flimsy. At the bottom, I'll come to the bottom in a bit because it actually has information now around how it's made. Ropes, significantly thinner. You can tell the quality, a lot thicker, this one here. And yeah, just the whole feeling of it just is not nice. And as you can tell, actually, it's created some like dimpling, and it just doesn't look very nice. It just looks like wear and tear is so easy to see on this one. In fact, when I was doing the unboxing of this bag on my channel last week, it was just, I felt like it looked like a used bag when I was opening this, because you could see scratches and warping and everything. It's not looking good at all. I'm looking at the viewfinder. It's not nice. So anyway, that is the high-level comparison of bags. Now, obviously, this particular bag is different to the other one, namely because, from the bottom, it's now a recyclable bag, which, yay, for the environment, right? Well, then I noticed that it was made in China. And I'm pretty sure this bag, I mean, it could have been made in China, but the quality nowadays of just general produce, whether it's related to luxury or not, obviously China's making a lot of stuff, okay? The Chinese are probably making these handbags, let's be honest, because if you have a Chinese person come to France or Italy, the bag is still made in France or made in Italy, but it's made by Chinese hands. And there's nothing wrong with making stuff by Chinese hands. I've got Chinese hands, okay? I respect the hustle, but when it comes to luxury, you would expect the best. And so now they've created these rubbish bags. The prices aren't exactly going down, are they? And although, you know, we rate having things that are easily recyclable, but let's be honest, None of us are throwing these bags away, especially with these price tags. Like, I keep a lot of my bags, obviously within reason, because I don't want to be a hoarder or anything like that. But I've also started to notice with the other luxury fashion houses that I've shopped from over years, it's also been a similar story in terms of the quality of even their paper carrier bags. So I just wanted to share those little tidbits with you and leave this video right here because it's already probably hella long. Drop me your thoughts below on what you think about the new Chanel Noir program, as well as just anything to do with Chanel quality in general, your stories, your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in my next one.